open.
Yeah.
Hej Malin!
Hej.
Hej, Katrin heter jag.
Ja, vi bor ju här.
Vi bor här.
It is middle of the night. It's 3:20 in the morning, and the ambulance just showed up because Malin's having really bad stomach pains again. Stomach pains that she's had on and off for, well, since the operation really, but over the last few months they've been getting worse and more frequent. And to be honest, we've not talked about them all the time, because if we did, it'd be every other video would be a video just about that, to be honest. But this is the first time in recent months where it's been bad enough to ring an ambulance. So, sorry, I just broke that off halfway because the ambulance people came to say that they were taking Malin in, so she's gone with them now. So part of her follow-up recently was that she was supposed to try to get through it on her own, just because, you know, there's no use going into the hospital every single time. Most of the time she sits in the emergency room for 8 hours. They give her morphine and then send her home anyway. So the idea was that she was going to try and get through it on her own at home in the van. So she normally takes morphine and, you know, it takes the edge off, and then she'll go to bed and wake up and it's a bit better, sort of thing. But this time was a little bit different because it came on really fast. She can normally feel it building up, and then she takes morphine as she's feeling it, and that takes the edge off enough to like stop it coming on properly. But this time it came on really fast, and the morphine's not done anything at all for her. And one of the conditions for us ringing an ambulance or for us going into the hospital was that if the pain doesn't get better with morphine, or it seems to just be getting worse and worse, then she has to, we have to go in, sort of thing. So that's our Wednesday night for you. Fun times. You never know what's around the corner.
Kommer hon?
Ja.
Really, already?
Vi börjar ta slut på vatten. Så vi kan se på vatten här.
Ja.
Kommer mormor snart?
It's always an odd feeling around when something like this happens. It's like we've all got some sort of collective hangover. The air's heavy and you can almost feel the anxiety buzzing around ourselves and even the kids. This particular morning, it was more to the rescue. Yet Malin's mum brought us a luxury breakfast as we tried to get our feet back on the ground a bit. Easier said than done when neither of us had slept a wink.
So I'm back from the hospital and taking a day to sleep before I updated you guys. Again, they don't really do much when I come into the hospital. They didn't even give me pain relief this time because I'd already taken my morphine at home. And even though it didn't work, they didn't want to give me any more. But yeah, it's not much to update on, to be honest, because they didn't even do any tests, they didn't do any scans. They just told me like, stay for as long as you feel like you need to, and when you feel safe to go home, then you can go home. So it's yeah, they don't even care, to be honest. I've tried to reach out to my team, but I've not heard anything back yet, so we'll see if they got anything to say about this. But I've got a feeling that they don't, because everybody just keeps saying that this is how it is, you just need to learn how to live with it. And if I'm being honest, I'm getting quite sick of it. It's getting more and more often, and this time it was more intense than normal, and it came on faster than normal. It started at like 9 o'clock, and by 10 o'clock I couldn't stand up. And normally I got a few hours at least to prepare and take my morphine, and then I can stop it getting really bad. But because I wasn't prepared at all for it to go that fast, the morphine didn't work this time. And therefore we had to call an ambulance to get me into the hospital. But yeah, that's basically it. They've not really told us anything because they've not done anything. And I am starting to feel very fed up with it, to be honest. I can understand that they say that you have to live with it if it's once in a while and here and there, but it's every 2 weeks now that I have to take these morphine tablets, and I can't really say that I feel like we got any life quality left. And every single time I get a bit of a stomach ache, we get worried it's going to be this. Charlie is really upset at the moment about everything that's going on, and waking up without me the other day when I'd gone to the hospital was not easy for him. And now he's waking up super early every day to make sure that I'm still here, and he's fragile, bless him. And I think we all are, to be honest. This is not the life that we want to live. It's not life quality, and it's not good for me or Tom or the kids. And the sad thing is that I feel like nobody's listening. Nobody hears me, nobody understands that this is a big problem, even though we've said it for 6 months now. And it's getting worse, and yet nobody's listening to what we're saying, and that it's a problem for us. So yeah, it feels a bit heavy at the moment, to be honest. And this also means that we don't know if we're going to be able to travel, or if we need to be around here. Not that they're doing anything, but if we get this much pain all the time, then maybe we need to be close to a hospital where at least we can speak the same language, and we can explain about my contrast allergy and whatever. So I don't know, it feels a bit hard and dark at the moment, and I feel like this is not a good life anymore. And it's sad to feel like that, to be honest, when you've been through everything that we've been through, and then you end up with this. It's quite hard to see the point of why you went through all of it, to be honest. But we're hoping to hear something back from, well, anybody who wants to deal with this. Not that I got any high hopes, but you have to stay some kind of positive, I guess. So yeah, we don't got much update this week. It's just that it sucks, and we might have to cancel everything this winter again.
Alright, so, bit of a weird week, you could say. Oof, that is a bright sunshine today. Yeah, a bit of a weird week. It's always takes a few days to sort of get your feet back on the ground after stuff like this happens. It all feels a bit grey and a bit weird, especially like for the kids and stuff like that, I think. But it's just to get through it. It's not easy, but it's life at the minute, and you just sort of have to try and do everything you can to, you know, keep your head above water, I suppose. But I think it's mostly about figuring out the next step at the minute. You know, it's hard when you feel like you're not being listened to, and, you know, healthcare aren't really doing their jobs, you know, to investigate what the root cause of the problem is. And obviously for us, we don't know what that means for our travel plans, and we don't know what the next step is in anything. And obviously it comes at a time when autumn's here. You know, you can see the beanie hat's made an appearance again, and it's starting to get really cold, and obviously we feel that in the van, and we were hoping to be getting stuff squared away now at this point and, you know, getting ready to be moving, but obviously we've got no idea what the next move is. So as always, it's just to see what happens, take it a day at a time, and see where we end up. But one thing that I did want to just say is that we're going to take a week off next week. We've had a lot on, even forgetting about the whole hospital thing. We've been bombarded with stuff, and we feel like we're a bit sort of overrun with things to do. So we're taking a week off from the videos next week. We're taking a week off from the podcast. So don't worry if you don't see a video from us next Friday or a podcast from us next Wednesday. We're going to take a full week off from, at least from the videos and things like that, for a few reasons. I think we all need it to start with. I think it'll do us good to have a week where we've got a little bit less to think about, at least. Plus it's Malin's birthday and Charlie's birthday in the same week, and we've got my mum and stepdad here from England. So it's a lot going on, and we could also just do with a bit of extra thinking time, I think. So you might not hear too much from us next week, but we'll be back with you the week after as normal. We did talk in a little bit more depth about what happened last week with the ambulance pickup and why October's a bit of a weird month for us in general and stuff like that on the podcast this week. So I'll leave a link for that in the description. There's also a little button at the end of this video that you can click on that, and it'll take you directly there. So definitely do that. It was a good episode this week, and maybe explained in a little bit more depth stuff that we've been talking about and whatever. So go and give that a listen. And otherwise, we'll see you the week after next. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here if you haven't already, and go and follow us over on the podcast. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Bye.